Alright, good morning. We were talking yesterday about softening and flexing of your horses. Now this is Milo. Milo is going to be my unwilling participant today. Milo is very spooky. He's not very people friendly at all, as you can see. Now when we were talking about flexing your horses and how soft they are yesterday, what I was talking about, this horse isn't exactly soft, I'll show you on whiskey later on, but what I'm talking about is getting your horse and bringing their head around. Now what I'm going to wait for him to do is to give to me. He just gave to me a little bit there, so I'm going to release him, give him a pat, tell him well done. Now with a lot of work, that will eventually get to the point where the second you do this, he's worked it out already, their head's going to come around. Now what I want him to do is bring his head right down to me. I'm going to fight it a little bit, and walk around a bit. I'm going to keep that pressure on him until his feet stop. Now I'm going to wait for that nose to come down to me. Good boy, right there. Good man. Okay, now what you do with teaching a horse to run one rein stop, you've got to get their nose nice and soft and their neck nice and soft. The other thing we want is for this leg here, if this was the inside hind, we want it to cross across the outside hind. So we're going to take his head around. It is easier to teach with a whip. Now, I have to set him up for success first. This is what I talk about when I talk about making sure that you set them up to succeed, otherwise all they can do is fail. Now he's got that leg in a position where he can get it across the outside hind leg. So I'm going to ask him to bring his nose around for me. And I'm going to ask him to try and step across. And what I want, see there? What he did was step across. Now that completely shuts down this whole powerhouse. Good boy. Now on a horse, everything from here back controls the speed. Everything from here forward controls their direction. A horse doesn't usually turn corners with just their head, unless they're looking for something. What they do is they pick up their shoulder and they move their shoulders across, and that's what we try to get our horses to do under saddle. So again, I'm going to ask him to throw back a little bit. A little bit more. So now he's got the opportunity to put that inside leg across his outside leg. Ask him to bring his nose around. Good boy. And now step away. I'm waiting for him to cross. He crossed then, so I'm going to say he's a good boy and release. Good boy. Good boy, Milo. You need to give your horse at least 10 seconds to think about it. Otherwise they've got no idea why you're stopping, going, coming all the time. They don't know what the heck's going on. Bring you forward a bit more. So it's a hello to the people. Turn you this way. And of course what you do on one side of your horse, you've got to do on the other. You can see that Milo is quite spooky still. He's not had a whole lot of work at the moment. So first thing I'm going to ask is for his nose to come around. Now I'm just waiting for the slightest tilt of his nose in towards me. Good boy. Now it's not always something you're going to see as an onlooker, but it's something you can feel. You can feel that tiny little release of pressure in the rope. Good boy. Good boy. And Milo's probably the best one to share it on because he's not done it before. Boy. So he's had his 10 seconds to think about it. So I'm going to ask him again. Come around. Wait for the give. Now his head's still up and his neck's still stiff, even though he's coming closer and closer. I want him to soften. Good boy. Didn't come back to me, but he dropped his head down. That's what I want. I want that softness through them. Eventually, and as I said, I'll show you on whiskey later on, all you have to do is pick this up. He's getting there with it, but he's a lot stiffer on this side than the other. So I want him to bring his head around. Good boy. Well done. Good boy, Milo. I know, it's hard to learn, isn't it? Now with standard breds, one of the problems with standard breds is they get very, very stiff through here. There's a myth going around that what they actually do is put steel rods in their neck under the skin. It feels like that with the standardbred when you first start this, because when they are taught to race, they're taught to lean sideways. They're taught to lean into that pressure, not come to it. So they get very, very stiff down through here, and it's very hard to bring that neck around. Once you do that with the standardbred, then you go to shutting down their back end, then you've got your one rein stop happening. When you get in the saddle, you start teaching it the same thing. So when you're in the saddle, because I'm not going to get on this boy, he's not ready for that yet, you're going to pick up your rein and ask them to bring their head around, and when they do, you're going to ask their leg just behind here, and you're going to ask them to step across themselves. Okay? And that's going to be the start of your one rein stop. Then you want to do it from a walk. So you want to be walking, you want to bring their head around again and ask them to step across and keep going in a small circle until they stop. That's the start of your teaching your one rein stop. You want to do that walk, trot and canter, and you do it every time, all the time, constantly, until both you and your horse get used to it. You need to work out how you need to sit on your horse while you're doing it, otherwise you're going to come off this side. And once you do that, you will find it yourself, if in an emergency situation where your horse is taken off or it's taken a fright side, the first thing you're going to respond with is that one rein stop. It's going to shut down your horse, it's going to stop him from bolting out from underneath you, and you're going to find yourself a lot safer. So hopefully that's given you guys an explanation on that. If not, please ask questions, you know I'm happy to hear them. And yeah, I'll keep working with Milo off camera. So thanks very much, guys.